Hello, it's Anne Marie with AM Astro. And yesterday I did a video for the CFP football championship that was played last night. And I tried a new system based on John Frawley's book for contests. And we did not do well. My system picked the right one, but his system did not. But it has to be human error, my error, user error. Um, because this guy's really good. And so I was like, okay, so well, what did I miss? And so I went back today and I looked at it a little closer. And the thing that I did not do that I think I was supposed to do was check the antitia for each of the lords of the first, seventh, 10th, and fourth houses. Because if I had done that, Lord one, which is the sun, which represented the favorites, which was Ohio State, was conjunct, the antition for the sun was conjunct to part of fortune. So that's a serious, like almost like if I had seen that, if I had looked for that, because didn't even know to look for it or wasn't sure. Because I mean, like I beat up this book again today and it was just like trying to figure out, okay, so like, what did I miss? Because like I said, he does have like this whole story where he's acting like he's like the Zen master for horary astrology. And he's got this student that has schlepped their way to him. And so he keeps like interspersing this like commentary about like the Zen master that's got to swack his student over the head with the stick when he asks too many questions, and the goat and the raven. And so you have to get through all of that to try to find out, okay, like, so what am I supposed to be doing? I might have gotten too wrapped up in the raven and the goat and missed that. No, you are in fact supposed to look at the antition for each of the four um, ruling planets for that first house, seventh house, 10th house, and fourth house. And there it was. The sun, the antition for the sun was literally conjunct the part of fortune. And so that would have been like ding, ding, ding. That would be the testimony that said that Ohio State would win. So anyway, so I had the wonderful Blue Raven comment on my video. Thank you, Blue Raven, for watching. And she wanted me to, she wanted me to do the NFL playoffs. And I mentioned in my previous video that I'm not really a professional sports fan anymore. I used to be. I grew up like huge. I was born and raised just outside Washington, D.C. I was born in D.C. and then grew up and lived in Northern Virginia for the majority of my childhood and adult life. Well, young adult. When I got married, I moved. But anyway, see, this is what I do. Wander off in these long things, and then I'm like, nobody's going to listen to that bullshit. So anyway, I grew up a Washington Redskins fan. Well, they don't exist anymore. So Washington Commanders, and I don't even know who the coach. I used to know everything. I used to know all the players, but then I married a Cowboys fan, and I moved to Texas and moved to Dallas. And so then somehow, like my dad literally rolled over in his grave, I'm sure. I became a Dallas Cowboys fan because at that time, way back in the early 90s, they were doing good. They haven't done good since. Get rid of Jerry Jones, for crying out loud. But yeah, I stopped watching the Cowboys a long time when they yeah, I quit watching them a long time ago. I just don't care. Now I do like watching the Kansas City Chiefs because when my son was at Texas Tech was when Patrick Mahomes was the quarterback at Texas Tech. And my son is a huge Texas Tech fan, so therefore was a huge Patrick Mahomes fan. And also my son-in-law, my daughter Reba's husband, grew up in Kansas City and is a huge Chiefs fan. And so my grandson is always wearing, Chiefs paraphernalia. So all the men in my life are Chiefs fans. So I was like, okay, well, the Chiefs are in the playoffs. So now there is another astrologer that does sports astrology that is like far better than me, far better than me. And each week she has done a live reading of the Chiefs, because she's a Chiefs fan too. And so she does it, but she has like a whole system that she did herself. Like it's her own invented system of how to tell. And she also actually used to work for ESPN, I think. And so she like, you want to watch something cool, she's the one. And I will put a link to her. It's Gracie. And her astrology channel, her YouTube channel is Northern Astrology, I think. I will have that in the links below too. But anyway, so I'm going to do the Chiefs and the Bills today. And it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be too long. Because Bills at Chiefs. Okay. So in John Frawley's system, the favorite is the Chiefs. Now they're only favored by like 2 points, but they're still the favored team. And so, and also they're the home team. So either way, now we're on the same page, whether I'm using my system or his system, we're on the same page, which is good. So represented by the sun again, but now see, the sun has moved on since last night's game. And this is for Sunday, the 26th at 5:30 local time for the Kansas City kickoff. That was the other thing about last night. They didn't actually kick off until 7:45 instead of 7:30. And the chart, so I looked at the chart moving at that 15 minutes and it actually didn't change any of the things that we were looking at. So, but I think really, I really do think that the sun's Antisha being right on the part of fortune was the clincher. So also this one, I could quit right here because Lord 1, which is the sun, is sitting exactly on the cusp of the 7th house. And so in John Frawley's system, he says, on the cusp rules the house. So when a planet is on the cusp of the house, that planet rules the house, or is in control of, is a better way to put it, in control of the house. If it's inside the house, even like 2 degrees, I think he keeps his orbs very, very tight. But even if it's just like 2 degrees inside the house, then it's controlled by the house. So the sun is controlling, the sun, Lord 1, is controlling the 7th house. It's controlling the competitor, the opponent. So right there, I could say that the Chiefs are going to win. Boom, done. Except there's more. So let's look a little further. So, okay, Lord 1 on the cusp of the 7th house is strong favor toward the Chiefs. On the cusp rules the house, within the house, ruled by the house. Other house placements, Lord 7, which is Saturn, Lord 4, which is Venus, and Lord 10, which is Mars, also the moon and the part of fortune don't have significant house placements. They're all either cadent or dark house. They're not angular. They're not speaking to us. There's nothing significant about them. They would have to be like on the cusps, or at least even in those in the angular houses for us to pay any attention to it. Okay, so that's looking at the house placements for Lords 1, 7, 4, and 10, the moon, and the part of fortune by Antisha. That's true. Okay, so I need to look at the placement for the antition of the part of fortune. Excuse me. So the antition is, we need to go up here and look at, is it this one? Yes. Okay. So the antition is 20 Aries for the part of fortune. This is down here at this bottom thing. So 20 Aries. So 20 Aries is in the 9th house. So yeah, so it's not really that significant. Okay. Do we go back here? Yes. Okay. So then we look at the aspects to or from the moon, the part of fortune, bodily and antition, and the dispositor of the part of fortune, which I did not look at on the video I did yesterday for the championship game last night. But I looked at it. I had looked at it when I was preparing, and there wasn't anything significant. So I didn't miss anything there. The thing that I missed was I hadn't been looking at the antition of, and so wait a minute, I didn't do that now either, did I? So I need to look at the antition of each of the lords of the houses. And so we go back to this. So the antition of the sun is 22 Scorpio. And so 22 Scorpio would be right here in the fourth house. So there's, it's not that compelling. All right, so then we'll look at the antition of Saturn. And the antition of Saturn is 13 Libra. So that's cadent in the third house. So that's not really doing anything. Mars. Antition of Mars is 7 Gemini. Aspen, calm down. So 7 Gemini is, and then we want to look at the antition for Venus. And so that is 6 Libra. So again, we go back here. So no, that's not doing anything. Okay. And then if we look at the antition of, we look at the house placement for the moon, but then we want to look at the antition for the moon and see what the house placement that is in. 24 Sag. So that's in, no, that's nothing. And then the part of fortune's antition we already looked at, and it is 20 Aries, and that's up there. Okay. So now we look at aspects to or from the moon. Now, this moon is applying to a trine to the part of fortune. So that would be just over 4 degrees. So we can allow it. It's not as tight as I would like, but the moon. Oh, well, actually, first, the moon squares the antition for Lord 4, which is the underdog. So the antition for Venus is 6 Libra. And so the moon is going to square that first. And then it's going to trine the part of fortune. And so aspects to the part of fortune or its antition are final. The fact that the moon squares the antition for Lord 4 and then aspects part of fortune by trine, that's the last thing we're looking at, because that favors the chiefs. If the moon is either conjunct, trine, or sextile to Fortuna or its antition, that favors the favorite. Moon square or opposed to Fortuna or its antition favors the underdog. And then he has this, the aspects to Fortuna or its antition are final. So we've already got the fact that the Lord 1 is sitting on the cusp of Lord 7, and then we've got the moon aspecting in a trine, which favors the fortune, the favored, favors the favored favorite. Then we're calling it for the chiefs. We don't even have to go on to the miscellaneous points, which is, oh wait, well, okay, well, let's do it. Let's look at positor of the part of fortune. Okay, so the part of fortune is in Virgo, and so Mercury is the dispositor, and Mercury is in the 6th house, squaring the nodes. No, it's not. It's in a sextile to the north node and in a trine. So we don't even, it's not conjunct the node. The conjunctions to the nodes are the only thing that we would look at. I'm not seeing anything else. So then combustion, nothing's combust. And then the outer planets, nothing is being threatened by, oh, well, I don't even have the outer planets in this one. Do I need to go back? Do I have it on the, there we go. Okay, yes, we have the outer planets here. Okay, so that's already past Pluto, so nothing there. What is Uranus doing? Uranus is it's already past too. That's not happening. So see, if something's past, if it's a separating aspect, It's already happened, so we don't care. Mars is retrograde, so is Uranus, but that's a sextile, and no. Um, and then Neptune is conjunct the North Node, but Neptune doesn't. That's not having anything to do with any of the lords of the houses that we're looking at. So this one is definitely I'm calling it for the Chiefs.